friends, this is Kristen Redman, Astrological Intuitive, and today we are going to discuss what 2019 has in store for your sun sign. Now, keep in mind that your specific chart is going to be more dialed in for who you are, because that's based off of your birthday and time and location. So you can always reach out to me for a reading. I do those by phone or Skype or in person. I do a $77 special. It's below. 1 year, 1 year I do a special, and this is it because I love to help people get ready for the upcoming year. So enough of that. Anyway, let's get into you. General overall for Aries, what a big shift this is going to be. It's what I always feel so bad for my Aries friends. I tell you why, because I know it's been extremely tough since 2010 having Uranus going through your sign. Uranus is the planet that shakes things up, and it takes everything that you think you know about yourself and it makes you question it. And it is tough. Uranus is like a red hot poker that pushes you and wants you to shift and change, and it creates these extreme highs and lows and major confusion on who you are, which is tough because as an Aries, that's what you came here on this lifetime to be, to say, I know who I am. I'm going to be the leader. I am going to have the confidence and the strength to do this. Either you're an Aries that is or you're not. You're one of the two. Either you came here to be the leader or you came here to learn how to have the qualities to stand up for yourself and be a leader of your life. It's one of the two, right? There's no gray area in astrology. But to have this planet that basically electrifies you and to have it coming through your sign for 10 years is a major shock to the absolute core of who you are. Asking Aries, who am I? That's something you wouldn't have dreamed of, over 10 years ago. But this has really made you question, and ultimately having that happen has had you really realize who you are and what you want out of this life moving forward. And now that that has finally left your sign, thank God, right? It moved out for a little bit, for a tiny bit in May of last year in 2018. To kind of give you a preface, but then it moved right back in after its retrograde phase. So it came right back and it had you reassessing everything all over again. Who am I? What am I? Where am I going? All of those things. It is finally leaving on March 8th. I think it is 6th. I was close. March 6th. Finally gets the hell out of Dodge and it moves into Taurus. And that's where it's going to stay for the next 7 years. So it has left... It's left your house, that first house, which has been the roller coaster, right? But ultimately what it's done is led you to a greater sense of who you are, what your priorities are, and what you really want out of this life. Now that it's done its number there, it's moving on to your house of finances. And that's going to be a big trend over the next several years as it tours that second house for you. Financial freedom. It's going to re-energize your finances. So this is going to be a year where you're going to feel that push to really make the changes, to make that, to set the plans in motion. Maybe that's a new job. Maybe that's doing a different side hustle to bring that money in. No matter what the main goal is, financial freedom, and that is something you will definitely achieve over the next several years, especially by the end of that tenor. Now, another thing that's happened, I mean, that's huge. That's gigantic. Like, I don't know if I gave that enough time or not, but this is huge. And let me tell you, this also helps alleviate those feelings of major depression. The depression came from not knowing who you are, right? That's what Uranus was doing. It was striking to the core. Who am I? And now you know. And even if you don't, okay, this is a year where that all does finally fall into place. It does. You are fire. That's what you are. You are the leader. You're the one that people go to, that people expect to get things going, people trust, and people go to. All right? That's who you are. And you're going to lead your life and help others in so many ways. I know that, right? But another wonderful thing that we have is that your ruling planet Mars is moving full steam ahead. Yay, because I tell you what, the past couple of years have been miserable for your ruling planet. Mars is that fire, and it's that engine, and it's everything that makes you who you are. And when Mars retrogrades, it's like the engine stalls. Stalls for everybody, but it especially stalls for you because it's your vital ruling planet, right? So when your engine stalls, you stall. And that especially took place in the summertime. Totally lost all momentum. I know you did. It was tough. And it had you really feeling like, I don't want to leave home. I just feel like all of the sadness that had accumulated over those several years really toppled on top this summer. And that is finally done, right? That is done. It's moving forward. Main thing it was doing that questioning thing again. Who am I? What am I? Where am I going? Is this really what I want? Because the universe is listening, Aries. You can manifest better than any sign out there. You have this magical guardian angel put on you just because you're an Aries sun sign, that whatever you think, you create. All right. So if you're thinking a bunch of horrible things, that's exactly what you're creating in your life. But if you're thinking money and happiness and love and romance and happy job and doing what I love and being independent and all those things that you're meant to have, that's exactly what you're going to bring in. So this summer, that Mars retrograde was a reboot in that area. It's moving ahead finally. And what I love is that after 2 years, it's finally back in your sign. And you know when that starts? Legit, today, on New Year's Day. What are the odds, right? That all of us can start out the new year with the engine running on all cylinders and at its home base. Like, that is amazing energy to start out the year. That tells me we are going to blaze ahead this year and not hold back. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. So, what is that? Hold on, up in here. Let's go to, we talked about finances. Another wonderful side note is that Jupiter, the planet of luck, is also doing a pretty cool thing, bringing promotion, money, all these wonderful things, because it is working in your 10th house of career too. So there's some really awesome energy for that as well. Especially towards the end of the year. So we'll talk about that when we go on to career, but that's just another boost in money as I look at that. But let's move on to home and family, right? Home and family. This is a big thing that got triggered too over the summer, okay? Because that Mars retrograde, though Mars was in Uranus at that time frame, OMG, Mars was in Aquarius, which is ruled by Uranus. That's what I meant to say. If my mouth didn't go so fast. That was happening, but this was all when the sun was touring the sign of Cancer, which strictly deals with home and family. So not only were you feeling knocked down and wondering who you are and what you're doing, you're like, am I supposed to be in this family? Is this the home I'm supposed to be in? Is this the network I'm supposed to surround myself with? I think there's better clarity in that now, but it especially comes through this year because the North Node is going through Cancer. Hasn't been there since the year 2000, okay? And the North Node is our soul's purpose. And when it moves into a new sign and into a new house, some big things are changing because these are karmic things that are coming in now. This is something where if you are wanting to get married, if you're wanting to start a family, if you're wanting to buy a house, the universe is behind you big time to make sure that the karmic connections are coming through. That person that's supposed to be there is there. Your energy is supposed to be there. And that you're matured in ways, and we'll get to that in a second too, that you can commit, all right? Because there's some big stuff happening in relationships for you there as well. But in terms of home, the North Node going into that 4th house of yours, big dreams can come true for family, more opportunities come through, a better situation all around, okay? Energy is so much better when the North Node goes there, because I haven't been there in a long time, so this is like life purpose stuff happening up in here. Not only do we have that, my thing locked up. Well, hopefully it keeps going. Not only do we have that, but we also have the solar eclipse happening July 17th, okay? That is happening in that house of home and family too. This initiates new beginnings, so it's kind of like a clean sweep. We're getting rid of some of the energy that's holding you back in there and really freeing it up for some good things to come through. So that is a great time frame. Let's move on to relationships, right? Since we're in that vein anyway. Yeah, you know what? I just realized I was thinking of cancers with the maturing of things, but no matter what, that's been a big thing for you too, my Aries friends, with having that Uranus going through and blowing up your crap for 10 years. I laugh, but it was a lot. What that ultimately did is it's shifting and changing some of that impulsiveness, okay, that Aries is known for. And there is a maturing that happens as a result. Because what happens is Uranus comes through and, yeah, blows things up and it makes you like reassess what's best for you. But it lets go and surrenders parts that don't work for you and where your soul is at now. So that is huge, I guess, in terms of maturing you in ways so that you can look to the other person and be that person that they need as well, without just focusing on what your needs are as well. So, hey, I'm just saying, that's a side note. But in terms of relationships, we have that ruling planet of yours, Mars, going through that marriage and partnership 7th house of yours, October 4th through November 19th. Okay. I see the fall being a very beautiful period in terms of relationships for you, because new energy is coming through with the female planet of Venus going through there September 14th through October 9th, and then you have the male planet of Mars going through in your ruling planet in that time frame in October. So new energy is coming through, but because Mars is going there and it hasn't been there for a couple of years, some issues may reemerge that need to be I really don't know what word I wrote here. It looks like weed help plantation. So weed help plantation for you this fall. I think I'll just wing it here because I'm better at winging than I am at reading. But what happens when Mars is going through there is that's the planet that can bring up anger and things along those lines too. So there may be some things that started a couple of years in your relationship that you were like, yeah, I don't know if I want to talk about this now. Oh, it's coming back and it wants to be dealt with and handled now. So that may happen, but don't forget there's that energy of Venus right behind it that is loving and caring, and it will sweep it away and it will bring the new energy in that's needed. So just an interesting time frame for relationships then. Now, if you're looking for somebody new, let's say that all of this happened and it made you realize, I just don't want to be in this relationship anymore. If you're finally ready to let it go, this is the year when that is great, because this new energy is coming through, especially in the fall, to set the stage for the relationship that you really do need to belong in. And don't forget, you got the North Node going through that house of home and family for a year as well, making sure that that karmic person that is supposed to be there arrives. So energy is behind you to make that happen as well. So let's talk about career. Enough about love. Let's move on to career. The main focus of 2019 is career, because there's so much amazing energy that's happening here. First, we're going to start with Saturn moving into this house. Saturn rules this house, and Capricorn, that rules your house of career. And it's all about what your soul's mission is here to do this lifetime. So having Saturn coming back there, that started last year, and it's going to be there till 2020. This is a 30-year cycle, maturing you in ways, making sure that you are in the right spot that your soul said it wanted to do for a career for the next 30 years. This is setting the foundation to make that happen. This is amazing energy. Amazing energy. Okay. So this is great. But not only do we have that, we also have 3 eclipses happening in there for you this year. Hasn't happened since 2009. It's weird to have eclipses that are not in Leo and Aquarius. I tell you what, that's the way it always goes. But now we are in a new trend, and this is setting the stage for the amazing energy that's coming through in 2020. We're really sewing up loose ends this year and getting the ground just stable and settled. And this is a big part of that energy to bring new beginnings through. And especially for you, it's trying to hit a reset button in terms of career, making sure that you have a couple of options. You have the energy available to you to be the leader that you are meant to be, or that you are able to be the independent that you are meant to be, because you got a lot of independent energy, my friend, and that needs to be fostered as well. Maybe that's something you've realized that you need. These eclipses come through and they're like a clean sweep to make sure that those things can come into place for you. So look at what happens around the time of these eclipses. That's January 6th. So that's like this week. January 6th. We've got July 17th, and then again we have one in December, on December 26th. These are like billboards from the universe. Look at what's happening within the days leading up and right immediately after these eclipses, because they are like billboards saying, this is what has to change. For you, it's really focused on your career and your reputation out there in the world, because the 10th house is very, hey, this is who I am and this is what I do. And if this is an area that's needing some repair, there may be some things that pop up in that time frame that say, okay, this has to shift and change, or this is going to change. And your image out there in the world will change as a result. So just listen to what the universe is saying in that time frame. Yeah, so eclipses, we talked about that, starting new energy. Oh, let's move on to this one next. Okay, so Jupiter, the planet of luck and opportunity and expansion. This dude is like a guardian angel. I tell you what, Jupiter is an amazing planet that wants to give and give and give. And I love that it gives us all of the benefits, right? That's the great thing about it. Now, where Jupiter is working for you this year is great, because Jupiter's returned home. It's in its home sign of Sagittarius. It hasn't been there for 12 years, so this is a 12-year cycle for you as well. When Jupiter comes home, it's like a party. Everybody is partying when Jupiter comes home, and we get amazing benefits. Where this is happening for you is in the 9th house. That is about expanding yourself and your horizons and having some fun. You've been buried a little bit under some sadness and questioning, and this is a time frame when Jupiter comes through and it says, let's travel, let's go places, let's do things. This can be a year where you have opportunities that pop up out of the blue, because that's what Jupiter does. It brings you, like, you want a trip. You could just, somebody's like, hey, I have these tickets to this game and I can't go. Do you want them? And you're like, yes. Yes, you're in the right place at the right time. That's what Jupiter does. It makes these things happen. And it's pushing you to travel somewhere, to go somewhere, even if it's taking a different route to work. Jupiter is pushing you outside of your box, because when you do, that's when these random opportunities appear from experiencing something new. You go on a new route. I'm driving my car. I'm going down a different way. What? There's this house for sale that I never knew was there, and we want to move, right? Because the North Node's in your house of home and family. Oh my gosh. Or you take a different route, or you go to a different bar and you meet that person, because the energy is really shifting and changing for that. Jupiter is going to push you, so listen to what it's telling you. Experience new things, because it's going to bring some wonderful new opportunities as a result. This may be a time frame when you go back to school and start learning something new. Maybe that's what Jupiter is pushing you to do, because ultimately it's going to lead you to better things, right? Especially if you've reassessed who you are over these 10 years and you know you want to be a doctor now, you know you want to be this or whatever. Now's the time to get the schooling, and Jupiter's behind you to make sure that the right thing opens. The 9th house also has to do with spirituality and your faith. So this is a time when that gets shaken up as well. Jupiter loves to have us connect with the divine essence of God and what your view of God is, right? Nobody's view of God is exactly right. Everybody's is right. So this is a year where that gets reassessed as well. Strengthening your faith. And helping that to be restored, because it's been kind of snuffed out over the past couple of years. That faith that things will work out has been stifled. So, yay for Jupiter bringing good things. With that, have a fun trip. Go somewhere. Please do that. So let's move on to birthdays. Like I said before at the beginning of this with my little spiel, your specific chart is going to be honed in a lot more. But in general, and you can reach out to me, obviously the link's below there, but in general, for certain birthdays, if your birthday is April 1st to April 11th, Saturn, that planet I was talking about that sets boundaries, and that's the one that's doing the number to make sure the foundations are good for your career. Saturn can be a little bit of a taskmaster, let me tell you. It makes you work hard. It's kind of like your arch nemesis, because you're ruled by Mars that wants to go, 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 and Saturn likes to slow, slow, slow. So it's going to be working against your sun. So you're going to have a little bit of a feeling of like 1 foot on the gas and 1 foot on the brake type feeling this year, because I want to go, 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 but Saturn's like, wait, 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 just a little bit, because we want to get a better plan in place. That's going to be some energy happening for you. So that also the break can come because you have increased responsibilities that are put on you, or it could be Uranus or Saturn, sorry, telling you need to put some better boundaries in place and get a little bit more of a plan before moving forward. So make it clear what you can and you can't do. I'm thinking of this with work or friends or whatever. That's part of that, setting boundaries and saying, look, I can't. And then that helps to free up some energy for yourself. Okay. That's really, really prominent at work. Ooh, another thing for you, my friend, I love this, is that as a result, if this is at work, a promotion can be in place or a raise can be in place because they're like, hey, let's give you some credit for all the hard work you've put in. Saturn is all about hard work. So that can get recognized as well. That's wonderful. If your birthday is April 10th through the 13th, this 3-day period here, Pluto out there is squaring your sun, and Pluto is the planet of transformation. So this could be a year of metamorphosis for you, my friend. I tell you what, profound transformation happens when Pluto gets involved. But Pluto makes that happen because it is the planet of like power struggles, and it is the planet of intensity. So some of these things may surface to have you confront yourself in your true nature and the people that are around you as well. And it helps you take control of your life, because that's the main point here, and where you are heading. So this is a year of purging your life and your soul of old energy that doesn't work anymore. All right. Big year of purging and releasing. Okay. Old parts of yourself, old relationships, old things. You've had 10 years of it telling you what has to go. You don't need this astrologer telling you. I'm so hating this weird hair. I'm sorry, everybody. I don't mean there. That's better. Side note. Okay. Uranus is going to be squaring your sun if your birthday is April 18th to the 21st. Okay. Uranus, we just talked about that, homeboy. That's the one that's been working on you for the 10 years, making you go, who am I? What am I? Where am I going? I don't want to be here. I feel like I'm just going crazy. So Uranus is going to be doing a little bit more with your sun, but I tell you what, it's telling you, maybe you didn't really listen to what I was telling you for 10 years, and we need to free things up. Let's liberate ourselves. So it is a year that it's cool to let the inner rebel out, which I know can be a dangerous thing to tell Aries, because y'all can, that sounds mean when I say this, but impulse, you're ruled by Mars. So that can happen. The inner rebel comes out a lot and you just jump without acting. But like I've said before, there are also people that have incarnated in this lifetime as an Aries that legit have no ability to act on impulse. They're here to learn how to trust their intuition and jump with that. And this may be the case for you if your birthday falls in this category, that it's time to stand up for yourself, to embrace the qualities of your Mars. Do some Googling research on the astrological meaning of Mars, and I think that will help answer a lot of questions for you. So, my Aries friends, thank you so much for watching. Please be sure to subscribe below so you can watch my videos every week on what's happening out there in the skies, how it's affecting all of us. You can watch me play with my hair a little more. Just kidding. Anyway, and please subscribe or whatever you do on Facebook. Follow me on Facebook, because I also go on there and give little tidbits and insights and spiritual know-how on various things, as well. So I appreciate Thank you so much for watching, and I wish you a blessed and wonderful and strengthening year of change. Bye.